Hey, this is Chris Jericho, and you're listening to Awesome Pod, the only wrestling pod that I listen to.
It's Thursday, and you know what that means. It's Awesome Pod. It's Darcy the Mail Girl, Shorty Taylor, and Brendan Patrizo. Explain Dynamite and Rampage, we are here.
And Mistress Harley.
Raggedy bitches of the world. It's the Awesome Pod, and we got 3 of the 4. We're the triumvirate. It is I, Johnny Taylor. I'm here with Mistress Harley. How are you, Mistress Harley?
I'm always awesome, but Johnny Taylor, the triumvirate in Roman history, all murdered each other.
Hey, the episode is early. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Exactly. We got a long way to go.
A lot of stuff could go down.
Shit about Orange Cassidy.
Uh,
What happens?
yeah, I know. We also have, that's the voice of the
yeah.
very talented Diana Prince.
Why, thank you.
How are you doing, Diana?
I
It's
am
good to see you.
amazing. How are you?
Doing pretty goddamn good. No complaints on this one.
Yeah, I love to hear that.
Yes.
We're doing good.
Yay.
Johnny, you forgot to tell everybody that we are the Awesome Pod, and we're not like other pods because we love AEW.
We're about to, I mean, we're gonna find that out.
Wait. I feel like that's a sad way to say it. We're not like other pods because we love AEW. That's sad.
No, I'm chiding Johnny. We're not like other pods because we fucking love AEW. See,
Okay,
Johnny, I need fucking energy from you, young man.
I should mention Awesome Pod brought to you by the Creative Control Network.
Woo!
Woo!
Our friends over at the Creative Control Network. We've been there for about 6 weeks now, and we're stoked. We're stoked to be there. So it's awesome. You can find us all over the land, wherever you can get a podcast. And honestly, the last episode when it was Gals Night, one of my favorite episodes. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I listened to it on my drive. I drove to Seattle, and I drove back from Seattle, and I caught up on so many podcasts, and our very own podcast was one of them. So, great job holding it down. Brendan, where is Brendan? Do we know?
Where
the fuck is Brendan?
Who fucking knows?
I have him locked in a box. He's watching Beyonce concerts on a loop. I have a little feeding tube in there for him that he nibbles at like a little gerbil. And when he learns to love wrestling as much as we love wrestling, I'll let him out.
Fair.
So he's doing fine. He's got some food and Beyonce on a loop. Everything's good.
He's living the dream for a lot of people.
That is like honestly probably his dream. So, but it's good to be here. We had a banger episode of Dynamite. So much shit happened.
Fuck yeah.
So let's tear into it, Mistress Harley. Let's make it happen.
Yes, let's fucking tear into it. It was a Dynamite and Rampage doubleheader episode. Like, if you made the mistake of watching these episodes out of order, like, Rampage begins with the end of the Christian Cope match. And it's really confusing. So, it's better to get it live. Just like fruit, pick it when it's fresh. But it was just nonstop. It started again with Mercedes Moné, and Mercedes Moné is fucking incredible. And she had some notes about how she was coming to do Women's Revolution here at AEW. Although, I mean, AEW does not quite need the Women's Revolution that WWE did.
I agree. We're in a different era. Now, and I mean, AEW's women's division is very, very much improved with Mercedes coming over. but it was in pretty good shape before this,
But it's her
to be
job.
honest.
It's her job to say, like, I'm here to make it fucking better and different. And so, of course, that means that Julia Hart had to come out, and then there were chairs. And Sky Blue tried to attack Monet, and it was all a lot of madness. And then Willow was there, and she had a chair, and it was pretty exciting. But ultimately, it ended up with Mercedes pointing at Willow and saying, like, I'm coming for you, bitch. And not in that word, but, I'm translating.
Yeah, I mean, there is a I mean, there's something to. I love the fact that they're involving Willow as an aside to this Mercedes Monet because I think it gives her like credibility that I don't think she was going to be able to get being involved in pretty much anything else. Like Mercedes gives a major rub because she's such a fucking legend. So as people know, I'm a big fan of Willow, and the more that Willow looks important, the better off she's going to be for it, in my opinion.
But does it give her heel energy that they ran out in the dark and attacked the CEO?
I mean, yeah,
Right? Like, what an
yeah,
unexpected twist.
yeah. It's one of those things where I think Willow is such a natural baby face that turning her seems like a great idea to
It's true. Maybe it's time. It feels like this whole header was kind of like the time of change, because the next match was the Continental Championship match and the title did
me.
change hands. But before we talk about it, like, Diana, how did you feel about this women's scuffle starting the show?
I feel good. It was fun. It was great. It was great. It was fun. I love that they did a video package for
Mm-hmm.
Mercedes.
Hmm.
Cuz like I mean, out of all the new gets, she might be the person that needed it least. But
Hmm.
they are listening where people are like when they bring new people in, it's often, before Tony Khan was like, "Well, go Google it." And, now they're
Right.
here's my story. So, like, that was
Mm-hmm.
a good bonus. If they turn Willow, I feel like I might be really excited about that, and I feel like maybe they are, and that was Stokely's part in this because we kind of been like,
Ah.
Hmm.
"Why? What's happening?" But, like, maybe he's getting in her head, and it's like his reaction when Mercedes just blew him off or whatever the fuck it was, he's like, "Oh, nice to meet you," and she had wanted no part of it. His face and his expression to the camera was just priceless. So it was
That's a
Yeah,
really
I
good
love that.
point.
the Stokely
Stokely gives good face.
completely
Yeah, but
the raggediest of bitches.
oh, so
He is the
raggedy.
raggedy,
But I like your
the
point.
original raggedy
I
bitch.
like your point about him rubbing off on Willow. There's been some story there where he's tried to like sneak a chain to her in the ring
Mhm.
and she was like, "No, I'm not going to do that." But she will run out in the dark and attack Mercedes Monet. So maybe she's growing as a person,
I feel
embracing
like
the
he
dark
wouldn't have
side.
done that pre Stokely. So
Mmm.
just a thought, a theory.
I
An excellent
think you're right.
theory. Yeah. So on our last pod, I was saying that it's time for Eddie Kingston to drop some belts because he has too many belts and he's had them for too long. And I kind of was complaining that like everyone's had their belts for too long. So the producers heard me and
As
we
they
got
do.
a match between the Mad King, Crazy Bum, Drunk Dad, Eddie Kingston, and the Rainmaker Okada. And it was a really good match. Okada did so much heavy lifting. It was like watching a guy lift a cow here, lift a cow there, put the cow up on the ropes, flip the cow off. Like, it was incredible. He earned that belt.
And
Yeah,
so fast too. Like fuck. He's been there like this is his second week, right? Something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like that's amazing, but also not unexpected. I mean, I feel like we thought that's what was gonna happen.
yeah. When I saw that Okada was gonna be taking on Kingston for the belt, I knew Eddie Kingston wasn't going to have that belt much longer.
Yeah.
Uh, one thing I really do dig is I love Eddie Kingston, and I thought he like represented that belt like as like a working man's belt, which I thought was cool. But the idea of putting it on like a bona fide legend and that is still like in the back end of their prime of their career, like it's a good idea to have Okada with some gold. I think it definitely lends credibility to the belt.
You just said
Um,
in the back end of the prime of their career, which sounds like weird 33 and a third, 33 and a third kind of math. But how old is Okada?
let's look. I'll look, but I look at Okada and I think of him in 2017 and being like, that is the most legitimate of motherfuckers. So now when he is he's new to AEW. Okada is 37 years old.
Oh,
Dude!
wow.
So listen, the back end of his prime is going to probably last another 5 or 6 years.
And it's a fair
You know,
assessment, I guess. It's the like, over the hill thing. It's like you're at the peak and maybe going slowly down to be right
right.
now.
Point is, he's not 30 anymore.
Oh.
Um, and that's and now wrestlers hit their prime. AJ Styles going to be 50 soon, and he's still one of the
Quit
baddest
giving us
motherfuckers on the
facts. I
planet.
don't like your facts.
Yeah, I
Um,
disagree,
Quit giving us
Johnny.
reality.
This is not gymnastics. R-Truth is killing it at the WWE and has held the most titles than anybody ever. He's the most title wins ever. And he's at the back end of the prime of his career. We would have said that about him 10 years ago. And he is just cashing money at the bank.
yeah, I mean, and I love RT. At the same time, like he is such a comedy act now to me, which isn't bad. I love comedies my whole life, but when he was in his 30s, he was the TNA World's Champion. You know what I mean? And
You were
he's not going to
prettier
do
in your 30s, Johnny. I don't know. I think you
that.
were at your prime in your 30s. I
I
just.
definitely was. So definitely was feeling a lot better at 30. But the fact is that Okada, I think it's good that they're putting the belt on him and a guy that's still, one of the biggest stars globally and a huge get for AEW. And, for American fans that might not be as familiar with his body of work, now they're going to see him as like, oh, this guy's the Continental Champion, which is, to me, I think they're trying to make that like
Johnny, most people
the
have the
second
internet.
biggest belt.
Like, most wrestling fans know who this guy is.
I'm I'm telling you right now, Mistress Harley, you put Okada in WWE right now, 90% of those fans would have no fucking idea who he was.
And
I'm not even kidding.
and even just like vaguely looking up and be kind of aware of who he is not the same as having followed him. And I
Right.
think people are paying attention that didn't really know who he was before because so many people are so excited. So I think they're going to learn really fast how special he is.
You're right. I forget how much of the world is illiterate and doesn't enjoy wrestling and doesn't know their
What?
important
That's not a
wrestling
thing.
history. And that the chosen, special, beautiful few of us that are smarks really always had our eye on people internationally because of the internet.
Completely. And AEW fans are different. That's why I think it's so good that Okada signed with AEW because he's going to a fan base that at least, half of them are going to already appreciate what he's about. So
Fuck yeah. I mean, the crowd
same
certainly
goes with Will
seems to
Ospreay too.
know. Like,
Yeah.
Diana, I have to ask, were you at this show?
I wasn't. I had such FOMO, I guess, because like I should have made the trip. I was like, I just got back. I'm like, Toronto sounds like a trek right now, but the crowd was so fucking amazing and the show was so amazing. I'm like, I shouldn't have been lazy.
The crowd did seem really hot for all the matches. They were on their feet for all the
Yeah,
matches.
it was
Oh,
sold out, and like Canadian crowds are just fucking bomb. The last time they were
They're
in
the best.
Toronto, there was like 3 in a row, like right in the same area, and I went to all of those, and like each one was just like amazing in its own way. So I should have known.
shout out to the polite Canadian wrestling
Yeah,
fans that totally get how important it is to support wrestling. So, after Okada gets that belt, the bastard Neville in his former life, but Pac, walks
Never.
in and then he like looks at Okada and then they stare at each other. And then Neville like presses his tiny little head into Okada's big chest. And I was like, kiss, kiss, kiss. But they didn't. So I guess they're going to fight later.
or kiss later.
Uh,
We'll find
Ah,
out.
yes.
yeah. I'm here to watch Pac and Okada wrestle. That's talk about something that has potential to be a 5-star classic
I'm here to watch
all
them kiss
all
on
all day.
OnlyFans.
They can kiss if they want. I'm down.
I'd pay for
As
that.
long as it's consensual, yeah.
Okay, there's a market. So after this, Renee Paquette in an incredible sparkle jacket, you guys. Did she get Jericho's luggage? Like maybe his luggage got mixed up and she was like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep this. Because she was wearing this beautiful sparkly jacket and interviewed Swerve Strickland, and basically he was like, I'm coming for Sam Joe. We all know he's coming for Sam Joe. And
It
I
took
just
me a second. I'm like, Sam Joe?
I've just
I get it.
Samoa's too long.
No, I love it. I couldn't stop thinking of ScarJo. I'm like, what?
Oh
When did
yeah.
that happen?
No, but people chant Joe, Joe, and that's cool. There's no other Joes at the promotion, but I still feel like I need to say Samoa. So Sam Joe.
Sam Joe.
For those of us who are lazy. And then she interviewed Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale because this street fight. Oh my God. I can't jump ahead, but this fucking street fight. But the CEO came in and was like, I'm going to be part of everything. You can't stop me. But more importantly, I'm just going to skip ahead. The Lion Hook match, you guys.
Mm,
Like, sort of
yes.
gay.
It was a
Medium gay.
really good match.
Right. It just didn't go the way I wanted it,
Well, no, because spoiler alert, Hook did win, but Jericho was like, "I respect you because you hurt my neck."
I
Yeah,
go ahead, Johnny.
I loved the match was good. Uh, I love that Jericho continues to put young talent over. It's like like one of the things that I think is overlooked about him is that he's always finding a way to make young talent look even better than they did prior. And I have a lot of respect for him for that. I love the post-match interview though.
Yes.
Jericho's like, he hurt my neck, and I'm glad. I'm glad
Yeah.
he did.
You did what I wanted.
Well,
You know,
it's like Jericho's like what I would call someone you need to hurt him to prove that you're even worthy of wrestling him. That's what I'm getting from his
True.
post-match interviews. Like, well, now that you've hurt me, I respect you as like a real man.
right, right. You proved it. I
Yeah.
thought you were the guy, and you proved you were the guy. I love it.
Exactly, because you know that guy that walks around is like, I've got the biggest dick in the room. I'm the baddest ass of the baddest ass. And then they see like a spider and they start screaming or crying, and you're like, oh yeah, real badass, right? So I guess you need to prove that you can walk the walk. And Jericho was like, all right, you've proved it. My neck, ow, my neck.
Okay, Johnny, you were not here when I asked Harley about this, but you just said what I've been trying to preach, which is Jericho is so good at putting so many people over and elevating so many people that might be overlooked. How can the internet not see that? Why is it called the Jericho Vortex? As if he's sucking the life out of all these people. But everyone they name is so much bigger after working with him. How can the world not see that? Explain.
Uh, I can't explain the idiocy of the internet. I've,
And so
I've,
many people believe it, though. It baffles me. Like, I'm not even going to go over it again, but there's a whole list. Everyone that they name he has put over and made bigger. And it's because he sees potential in these people and he either fights them or joins up with them, or he's happy to put these people over. That's what he sees as his job right now. And
Diana,
people
you're
are giving him
you're
shit for
too
that.
pure. You're too pure to know that haters gonna hate.
But I don't, it's just literally doesn't make sense. Like, explain, haters. Give me data to show me what the fuck you're talking about, because you couldn't be more opposite. And it just baffles my brain that people can't understand that. Anyway,
Johnny.
that's my piece.
Well, here's my thought. And at the risk of sounding mean,
Oh,
Sound mean,
um,
man.
Sammy Guevara wouldn't have a fucking career if it wasn't for Chris Jericho, in my
yup.
opinion. So,
He's just one, but yes, and people use that fucking. They use Action Andretti as a well, look what happened to him. But guess what? You know his fucking name now. Whereas his first
yeah,
was like Jobber, go Jobber. Like, it's up to them to elevate it, but he gets the attention on them. Like,
you,
Ricky Starks, he fucking got so much more like taken seriously.
Orange
Orange
fucking
Cassidy,
Cassidy.
yes, a huge one.
Here's the thing, Orange Cassidy before that feud with Jericho was just viewed as like an indie mid-carder Jericho, that feud with Jericho lended him main event credibility that and Orange Cassidy's very talented and a great character, but that credibility, he took off like a rocket after that feud with
That,
Jericho.
lest we forget MJF. MJF
Oh,
was
Yeah,
somebody's bitch. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. Like, I don't understand you, world.
fucking world.
Diana,
Fucking world, man.
some people are powered by
Jericho
hate
Cruise.
the way some people are powered by their love of kittens or the environment or sex
Okay,
or rock and
I
roll
get that. Be a
music.
hater, but
They
get your
love to
fucking
hate.
facts right, man. It's just literally wrong. You think Orange Cassidy elevated fucking Jericho? You think like explain your fucking thought process
But
when you
Diana,
fucking say these stupid
if they
things.
got the facts right, they wouldn't be able to hate, and then they wouldn't be able to talk about how 9/11's an inside job, and they wouldn't be able to talk about all of their insane conspiracies. You know, it's just there's a whole
Okay.
group of people that like to
Namaste,
make up
Diana.
stuff. They just like to
Namaste, Cubs.
hate.
Breathe through it. Breathe through it.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
like
hard for me. I want to pick so many internet fights like on the daily and just be like, you were so
no.
fucking stupid. But I don't.
No.
Namaste.
Honey, let me help you channel your aggression. I have all these whips and chains, and I
Oh,
can
okay.
help you find some boys, and we tie them up. And then we have them say their dumb ass fucking opinions, and then we hit them with tiny sticks until their opinions change.
I feel like I might accept that offer. Let's do it.
Yes, I'm going to turn you
Special
heel.
episode of the Awesome Pod coming up.
Yes, yes. So this is content you don't get on other wrestling
You definitely
podcasts.
do not.
For real. So Jericho and Hook had a cute fist bump. So we know that they're really
Yeah.
friends and that there's respect. And then the poorly named Undisputed Kingdom, because they're fully disputed, Adam Cole gave like a little speech. He always gives a little speech. I'm sick of his ass. I'm like ready to watch him just get his ass kicked over and over and over. And
How
then
long does it take to heal? My God, I feel like he's been out for like 10 years at this point.
yeah, he's the guy that gets rear-ended in a parking lot and is like, ow, my neck, forever.
Whiplash forever.
But then he called out Wardlow, and it was like a Wardlow intervention. He was like, look, I just want what's best for you and your true potential because I care about you. And I don't know. I would watch the Wardlow intervention.
I would too.
Yeah, he might need one. I mean, all this Wardlow, eh, he ends up. They run that amazing package to. I got to give AEW props on these video packages they've been running because the one that Adam Cole did with Wardlow before Wardlow's match that ultimately ended up he didn't win was
Ha!
made me give a fuck about Wardlow for the first time in months and ultimately disappointing. And what I'm still here asking the question, what the fuck are they going to do with Wardlow?
We'll find out.
Okay, here are my spitball ideas for what the fuck they're gonna do with Wardlow.
All
They
right, they're
hook
taking
him.
notes. Go ahead.
They hook him to one of those carts and they make him plow a field like an Amish cow. They make him lift heavy things and set up the ring over and over and over until he fucks it up so bad that someone has to fight him. Incompetence should be the circle of his story.
I bet both of those are gonna happen.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thanks
There's
for
gonna be
listening
Yeah,
to
some
the
so
Awesome
cow
Pod.
plowing.
yeah, I'm with it.
Good.
I mean, it'd be something different, better than a squash match over and over and over again.
I
Yeah, I
agree.
can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I'm really sick of the Wardlow squash matches. Like, yeah, he's a big
I'd
dude.
rather watch Wardlow lose 10-minute matches
Yeah, me too.
than win 30-second matches at this
For
point.
real.
It
I
was
just want to see
super
what he can
fun
do.
for a little bit, but yeah, I want to see him actually go. However, I had the same thought with Hook because Hook used to come out and would just bam, spot
Yeah,
me.
wow, yeah,
When his matches are longer, you can see a little how green he is. You know what I mean? So, maybe there's a reason he's squashing right now.
yeah. It's Wardlow because he was so fucking white hot at one point,
Yeah,
and and when he came back, he lost all his heat. Like when MJF comes back, the pop you hear is gonna be fucking thunderous.
insane. Yes.
So Wardlow just he lacks something, and they need to figure it out.
He was a man
They really
tragically
do.
born without a personality or a gimmick. So he needs a
Aww.
gimmick. Put a chicken suit on him. Make him the Eggman from 1960s Batman. Do something with this dude that will make him memorable.
Eggman was Vincent Price, though.
I know, right?
Thumbs up for that one. Not everyone though. Like, I don't want people to have to Google it. I'm doing what Tony Khan should do and explaining.
Yes. Yes, more
Wardlow
1960s
is
Batman.
the Vincent Price of AEW. I've thought that many times.
Have you really?
No, not ever.
No, it's a secular first time I've ever verbalized that thought.
Diana's the only one I'm gullible for. So, okay, AEW Women's World Championship match. Well, no, it wasn't a championship match.
No.
It was just the women's match, but Toni Storm was there.
Yes, with Mariah May.
And
Still
Mariah
being Toni
May.
Storm. How are we feeling about that? Like, I thought it was cute when she came out like that at the pay-per-view, but now she's just staying in Toni Storm's old gear. It's like, what?
It's off. It would have been cute if it was like cosplay one time, but
Now it's just kind of
it
strange.
reads weird.
If
I-
Mariah
really
May is anything like the real simps that I know, she's paying to wear Toni Storm's old stinky gear.
I mean, that's fair. It could be she's just
There's
like
some-
reveling in it.
I'm just saying. Oh, I totally skipped the Will Ospreay.
Oh shit! Let's not skip Will Ospreay, bro.
Never
I
never
know.
skip the bro.
I skipped ahead to the women's match. So
He looked
Ospreay,
So
He's-
happy.
I
Like,
know.
I love that. He had was like the biggest smile the whole time, and he was pointing at all the bruv signs and shit. Like he was just loving this, and I love that for him.
Yeah, I think that if I don't know, if Meghan Markle or all those people don't show up and take the crown of England, like Osprey might be king. Like all the
I would
people
be down with that.
chanting Osprey, Osprey. Like when people are screaming your name that hard, it's usually like right before an actual battle.
Yeah, the whole time I watched Will Ospreay these last 2 weeks, I'm like, that's a guy that's enjoying being a millionaire.
Fuck
Fair.
yeah.
He's just got this shit-eating grin on his face. He's soaking in every single moment. I'm happy for the dude. Like, couldn't happen to a more talented person, to be honest.
Exactly. He earned that shit. So good for you with your cats and your misses and your twins or whatever the fuck you said.
He's got a step kid. He's living that life, dude. he's living that bonus dad life.
And I like that he gave us a little reflection on time and aging and how 23-year-old him is different than 30-year-old him. And it was like we were at his birthday party.
Yeah. Every week it seems like Will Ospreay's birthday party right now.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
So ultimately, he's going to fight Daniel Bryanson, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, you called him Daniel Bryanson last week. Made me laugh so hard.
Wait, did he?
We had a nickname for him. What was it?
The dragon, the clam digger, the short man, the Brie Bella's
those
husband.
Let's just get.
Those are all.
We had one and we were both like, yeah, but oh well, whatever.
And the problem is, Diana, is we're sponsored by marijuana, and it makes it
Cannabis.
hard to remember our jokes.
Yeah.
We have so many jokes, like can't keep track of them all.
Too many
And that's
jokes.
true.
Too many amazing jokes.
Okay,
It's in the
but
brain.
okay, now back to the women's match. Ultimately, it was Toni Storm, Mariah May, and they were fighting Deonna Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa. So it's a tag team match, player. Thunder Rosa was the one that made the pin for the win, which was surprising to me that she pinned Toni Storm.
True.
Yeah, yeah, maybe a little foreshadowing there, you know, getting
Ooh.
Thunder Rosa in the mix.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah, Thunder Rosa, they're putting her. I mean, she's getting a lot of collision wins lately, so
Mhm.
they definitely want her to. They want her to be something.
I don't want her to take the belt from Tony though. I would not enjoy that.
No,
but
I don't either.
you gotta move these belts a little bit.
But
You know, they
that's a
get
Thunder
stale.
Rosa. Come on.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
better.
Thunder Rosa might be the next credible threat, but I don't think she's going to be the next champion.
I agree with you, Johnny.
I hope you're right. I can't keep track of where I saw it, but she had a little promo where she was like, "Good for you, Thunder Rosa. You beat me when I was phoning it in," and blah blah blah. It was very
Hilarious.
yes. She makes everything work.
I like blaming your loss on I was just not even really trying that day.
Yes, like oh, when I had a tag team partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, didn't Mariah May let down Toni Storm? Is this building
Mhm.
towards a Toni Storm Mariah May fight?
I
Definitely.
hope so because I'm over it.
Ah,
It served
Diana's
its
over
purpose.
it.
Mariah May needs to stand on her own.
Agree.
Yeah. This is the Trish Mickey James uh, angle being played out in a little bit different way, but it definitely has Mickey James Trish Stratus vibes to me.
Well, Mariah May is going to have to develop a gimmick of her own. She's going to have to fly like a little bird.
Like a little duckling.
Yeah.
We see little sparks of it popping out, like when she comes out alone sometimes, and she gets her ego, and I'm the glamour, and I'm the best. And when Tony's there, she kind of bows to her. But I think at some point she's just going to be like, enough of this, kind of all about Evie, where
Yeah,
she's like,
It's hard to buy I'm the best when you wear someone else's old ring gear.
agreed.
Real talk.
But speaking of the best, Swerve Strickland versus the Butcher, who had so much ring rust on him that he was like underwater slow. And I just felt like he was a promoted jobber, where he's like, Swerve, just move this man around the ring. Just move him to all the parts of the ring.
Never talk about Butcher that way.
Why?
He needs more respect than that.
Why?
Because he's great.
No.
I love the Butcher, but Mistress Harley, you are right. He looked like he was moving in mud. He was having a hard time. He was having a hard time getting around. Swerve just looks so clean. Everything he does. They did not have the best chemistry in the ring.
No,
in my
Swerve
opinion.
is fast. Swerve moves around. He jumps and flips and swerves around. Fuck yeah. But ultimately, the Butcher was just kind of like, where am I? Should I be in that corner? Did I get to spot? Like,
Okay,
I hope he's all right.
Best moment, I'll give you that. But he's great, and I was happy to see him on Dynamite. He's usually only on.
It was cool. I will say it was cool to see him get a little bit of shine.
Just a little bit. But I feel like
Yep.
I wasn't expecting a full-on squash match, It's like,
Yeah.
they could have used him a little better. But
He just needs a little gym time, a little training time. Like, Swerve is not the final boss, but he's one of like the top level bosses. And this guy needs to be doing his dungeon crawling and building up some XP, if you get my meaning.
Dang, dude. He needed the XP. We're getting fully nerdy today.
Yeah, he has to go back to town, sleep at the inn, upgrade his armor, dungeon
Seriously,
crawl, and
he
then
needs to
fight Swerve Strickland.
he needs to go to the town merchant and
Yeah, sorry.
upgrade.
I've been playing Final Fantasy Mystic Quest on the original SNES, and so that might affect some of my thoughts.
It's coming through. I'm here for it.
Yes. So after he won, Swerve started like sending a voice memo to Samoa Joe, as people do in wrestling, where they just
Yeah,
grab the mic.
gotta send a voice memo.
Yeah, the other guy's not there, but they're talking to him like on the phone. So he's like, Samoa Joe, I address you directly via this teleprompter. And so Samoa Joe was there, I guess, and he came down and was like, you still believe the impossible is possible, which I thought was a really interesting statement. And then fucking baby diaper Don Callis shows up, the stench that just never gets out of your nose. There he is again.
dude, the crowd booed the fuck out of him. Love that shit.
Oh my god, he's the Dominic Mysterio of AEW.
Oh, they were shitting on him hard.
Yeah.
And he's just like, whatever. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna get backstage. I'm
Yeah,
out here
and-
for my amount of time. I ain't letting you guys fuck with this.
No, and so he's like, Swerve, you gotta fight Takeshita before you fight Sam Joe. I don't know what he has to do with this booking, like, or why he's here. But I like Takeshita. I'm not against this
I
booking.
love Takeshita.
But
That's just a shit.
like, what the Don Callis needs a handler. Like, he needs a Paul Heyman. Like, no, Don, now's not the time.
The mouthpiece needs a mouthpiece. I
Yeah.
love it.
Then you'd get it in stereo. I think it would be good. And so no
I
one
love
agreed
Don
that it was
Callis.
Don Callis's house. No one.
No one thought that. No.
No.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody say Don's house ever.
No, I
Whose
want to
house?
see
Don's house? I
no.
guess.
No, boo. I want to see Swerve fight Don.
That
Yeah.
would be a
I mean,
very short match.
right. It doesn't
That's-
have to be an official match because that ain't going anywhere, but just beat the fuck out of him would be quite rewarding. I would like to
Yes.
see that as well.
Yeah, remember, Young Bucks, if you beat up someone backstage and it's being filmed, it's part of the show.
Right.
But okay, TNT Championship, I quit match.
Oh, I just thought what the fuck you meant. With the Young Bucks reference, duh. Okay, continue.
Oh yeah, the Young Bucks beating up CM Punk backstage,
I was trying to
allegedly.
like, when did they? Because I was trying to think when they did it and it was filmed, but it wasn't filmed. That's your joke.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, can't
Just
put
like-
anything past me.
Right, it's like if you commit a crime, but somebody is filming it, sometimes the crime is not a crime. Like, it's not prostitution if you're making a porno.
Exactly. I
not
was gonna say that. I found
assault.
that out.
Right, it's not assault if you're making a wrestling show. See?
How weird is that though? What a weird law. Like, if you just pay to have sex, we'll put you in jail. But if you have a camera going, you're okay.
Haha.
Yeah. It's a whole different business.
So
Right,
weird.
now you're
It
part
doesn't
of a
have to go
legitimate.
anywhere. You just say you're filming, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
carry on then.
Oh, we're cool. Fun.
Yeah,
So
and
weird.
wrestling is the same way. If you put thumbtacks in somebody else's mouth and kick them in the face on the street, you will go to jail. But
It
if
is
there's a
frowned
bunch of
upon.
but if there's a bunch of cameras there, it's AEW.
True.
So, okay, the I Quit match. You guys, this is another one that would be illegal if there were not cameras and a crowd.
Lightly, yeah.
So,
Let's
you
start
know,
with the crowd singing Edge's song though.
they
So
did.
cool.
That was
So fucking cool.
amazing.
Although I did
Amazing.
see,
Goosebumps.
I saw somebody had a sign that also said, I want to sing Judas, which I thought
did
was
too.
super cute. But the crowd was there for it. This was like their hometown brawl, right?
Yeah, he's a hometown boy, right?
Canada.
Mm-hmm.
We all
I think
Canada.
he's definitely from Canada. Is it Toronto?
Toronto,
I think so.
Toronto proper. Yeah, he
Yeah.
and Christian.
Oh, both of them fuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I thought Excalibur said that, but I also ignore almost half of everything Excalibur says.
I love Excalibur.
Why?
See?
I think Excalibur, as far as like play-by-play guys go, and I watch them all at this point, I think he seems to be the one that A, doesn't take himself too seriously, and B, he's super educated on the guys wrestling, which doesn't always happen, Kevin Kelly. Um, and so I appreciate it, especially since he's working with Taz, who is like a lot of times comedic relief. And, even Shivani at this point is so much more like old school commentary that I think Excalibur is like a good little, m- he's a good medium to kind of the wackiness that's going on between them. So,
Yeah,
I
I think
like
that's super
Taz.
fair.
I like Taz for the wackiness. He's the one that's like, someone made me eat my own blood after a wrestling match, you know?
Yeah, you need a balance, so I don't mind
and I think
Excalibur.
he's good.
I do always think it's funny though, because like you hear his voice and he's the most like sane sounding one, but then he's sitting there in his mask, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's strange.
I would watch a reality show about a luchador living their normal life, but they always have their mask on. So
Yeah,
at the grocery
I love
store,
agree with you too. Just pushing the cart.
picking up their kids from school, like all of these reality shows we get about wrestlers, like, the Miz and shit. Like, no, give me a luchador who's luchador all the time. But okay, back to Adam Copeland and Christian. So this match was all out. I mean, there were ladders.
Dude.
There was a lot of setting up chairs. There was ring posts. There were more ladders. There were turnbuckles. There were eye gouges, spears, and Shania Wayne, and hockey sticks, and low blows, and barbed wire chairs. Also, Nick Wayne was there too. Mother Wayne was wearing an incredible outfit. I loved her outfit.
I didn't notice because I was too bothered by her. She
You
came
were
right out with
bothered?
a hockey stick. It's like, girl,
Uh-huh.
calm
I
down.
know.
It was for Canada. Hockey, Canada.
Oh, I
Um,
get it.
I loved now this was a really entertaining match, and I thought most of the stuff worked. I thought a couple of spots didn't work as well, but that's fine. The hockey fight in the penalty box
That was amazing.
That was good.
all day. I thought
Yes.
it was, how sometimes things like that could come off really forced. This didn't. It was like just naturally this meta moment. And I fucking loved it. I love when stuff like that isn't cringy and it's just awesome. And I thought
Yeah,
that
the
was
part
awesome.
the part that felt forced was the handcuffs. They brought out like Luchasaurus was there and Nick Wayne was there and Daniel Garcia was there and there were handcuffs and I love a good set of handcuffs, but it felt a little forced.
That was one of the spots I thought came off kind of clumsy, but most of it was chaos, and most of it I thought was fucking awesome.
Yeah, ultimately Copeland pulled out his spike box, which now we know has a 2x4 with nails in it, and then that he swung it at Christian, and that's when this episode kind of ended. So, like, if you just watched this one, you're like, what the fuck? But eventually, Christian did say, I quit.
Yeah, and they asked him a lot of times.
I
So,
know. But spike 2x4 to the nuts will do that.
They did ask him a bunch of times, and there were times he couldn't even speak because Cope had his hand all the way in his mouth. And they was like, do you quit? And instead of saying, no, the noise, I'm going to make the noise. We should all make the noise. It was like, make the noise.
and a couple of times it was like, like he could have just said no, but it was like a full-on sentence. He's just like, "Nah, man, I ain't quitting right now." I'm like, "Whoa,
Yeah, he was trying to
okay."
cut a promo.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, he really went on.
So,
But
should we rate this episode separately? Or because it was a double header, should we rate them all together?
I feel like separate.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can rate separate. That
All
works.
right. Well, then we have to rate this episode because, of course, that I Quit match, that was the show.
That's the end of it, huh? Yeah. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get. What should we rate it with? Spike boxes?
I feel like it has to be.
Yeah. How many spike boxes?
All right.
I accept.
Mistress Harley has accepted. Spike boxes is the rating system. I'm gonna go with 4.25 spike boxes. I thought it was really great, uh, but I would have liked to seen maybe a little bit more development with the Young Bucks. I would have liked to seen some FTR on there.
Fuck the
Uh,
Bucks.
Fuck
um,
those books.
I just want to know. I just want to know what's next. So,
You got to
but
watch
I
the show, Johnny. That's the
I
whole
know.
fucking
Be
point.
patient. It's
all
coming.
all in all,
3 shows a week to figure out what's next.
4.25. We're going with for me.
I
I
feel
give
like
it.
I'm
Oh, go
gonna
ahead.
agree. I jumped in because I'm agreeing. Like 4.25 is where I think it's at, which is a really solid, fun episode.
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it's a good little. I feel like the I Quit match was kind of pay-per-view quality. You
It
know,
was
not pay-per-view main event, but if you saw it on a pay-per-view, you'd be like, cool.
in the
So
middle of a pay-per-view. That would have been a banger.
exactly.
I agree, but I'm going to give it 4 because, as some say, comparison is the thief of joy.
Hmm.
And what
That's true.
followed the next episode of this doubleheader, I thought was better, and that just means I had to detract a small amount. If I hadn't watched this other episode, I would have probably given it a 4.25, like you
Wait,
guys.
you thought Rampage was better?
I did.
Whoa. What?
Because of
Wow.
the thumbtacks.
Explain.
Everybody brought
That's
thumbtacks. It was like when you pull stuff out of your purse and everybody has the same stuff in their purse.
I mean, it definitely wasn't a letdown. It flew straight into like, wow, this is amazing to wow, this is also amazing, but better is a strong statement.
I mean, it was the women's match, and so I guess we gotta fucking talk about it.
Let's do it.
But, so it started with this, like, from my Florida shitty house, like, Jay White was mocking Darby Allin and was like, Mount Everest, Mount Everest, and then you could see everybody, like, partying in the background. But these adult men party like 12-year-old boys. They have, like, a water slide and inner tubes, and they're all, like, hanging out at the pool, and I just thought, like, wow, you do not look as cool as you think you do.
yeah.
Just
It was.
for Darby though, that was brilliant. It had me dying.
Yes. No, I was laughing. It's true. The Darby Allin trash talk was solid.
Yeah.
But then the show started proper in the ring with the Trios champs, the Acclaimed, and they were mad. Like, Max Caster didn't even rap. He was like, fucking cut the music. I'm mad that Billy Gunn is too hurt to travel. How dare you? No daddy ass. And so he is going to hunt down Jay White. They're going to hunt him down like the fucking dog he is, and I support this.
I agree. I'm glad
Yeah.
that the Bang Bang Scissor Game is out.
Yeah. Thank God that's over.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It was fun for like 1 minute.
Yeah, exactly. It was fun to say Bang Bang Scissor Gang, but now I'm over it.
Yeah, it's true.
Never liked it.
But
Never.
okay.
Wow.
I know. He didn't
Never
like it,
liked
not
it.
even for 1 minute.
Come on.
Not even for a second.
No, Johnny
Wow.
doesn't like new things or wrestlers over 40, apparently.
Listen, here's the thing. Here's my whole problem was that it didn't make any fucking sense. Like they hated each other. There's dads involved. It was just,
There's dads involved.
the
Well,
whole
I mean,
thing.
that's part why it made sense to me because it was his kids. I could see him trying to want to like not fight with them all the time.
I mean, ultimately, it was like an enemy of my enemy is my friend, but only for a
Right.
minute. You know, sometimes you try a new food item and you're like, oh, that was fun, but you don't want to eat it every night. You're like, that pickled radish was amazing yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, this pickled radish had gone off 2 months ago.
Yeah, I eat a lot of Korean food, so like shout out to Genwa, LA.
I love a good pickled radish.
Okay, but so this is the match that Diana, I know you're excited about. Freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy and
Yes.
Trent versus the Don Callis family, Powerhouse Hobbs, and that other guy, Kyle Fletcher, who I
That
never remember.
other guy. Oh no, he's great. You gotta put respect on his name, man. He's great.
He needs a gimmick because he's just got one of those faces that's like
His
every
gimmick
guy
is
in the crowd.
blonde hair and he's banging sky blue. Like, what else do you need?
I
Right.
mean, he doesn't bang Sky Blue in the ring. It's not like real
Yes,
sex back in the 90s
we
on
don't know.
WWE. But like, yeah, I need that, or I need him to have a hat or paint or
He needs a hat.
coordination of his outfit,
The
something.
hat.
He needs a hat. That
And then
motherfucker. That
especially
motherfucker needs a hat.
Clown face paint, whoop whoop, anything.
he's
Little
So
too cute for
juggalo.
that. No.
I'm pro Juggalo. So ultimately, Orange Cassidy and Trent won. Really, Orange Cassidy. He pinned Fletcher. Powerhouse Hobbs is incredible, and I feel like they always use him as like, okay, go be a bull in a china shop, but he does not get the respect that he deserves.
Fucking
That's fair.
East Palo Alto represent.
Palo. Oh my God. Only California people know that East Palo is the scariest fucking place in California. If you're from East Palo, like mad, mad respect, because I would rather be in the scariest parts of Oakland or Vallejo or Sacramento. Don't take me to East Palo.
Yeah, yeah. Here's the thing, man. Fucking, it ain't where Stanford is.
No, that's West Palo.
Yeah, people hear Palo Alto and they think Stanford, and I'm like,
Oh, they
no.
think Stanford, they think Apple. I used to have a video game testing job in like West Palo at the border of East Palo, and there was a really good falafel place there, but it was terrifying.
So Joe Bob actually, like way back when
Mm-hmm.
Powerhouse just started, had a whole thing about this because he was like from Palo Alto, blah blah blah, making jokes, and then literally the next week they started
Yep.
specifying.
Yep. They
Ah,
did. They fucking did.
So,
that's
like we
hilarious.
said, they listened, and it's a
Thanks,
very
Joe
good show
Bob.
Thanks, Joe Bob. Mad respect.
because it didn't seem that he was so big and tough, and it's like, the East,
No.
that's different.
If you're in the East Palo Alto area, you are the most likely to die of violent crime in California. That and Bakersfield. That's a guide to those of you visiting California. If you'd like to die terribly, check out those places. Also, go to Hood Slam in Oakland.
Oh
But
yeah, all day.
yeah, but how did you guys feel about this match?
Fucking amazing.
Yeah. Uh, First off, Kyle Fletcher is going to be a huge star.
Agreed.
I'm saying it right now. Kyle Fletcher is the shit. Uh, and boy, did he and Orange have some fucking amazing exchanges in this match. Yeah, really. I mean, and Trent is criminally underrated in the ring. He's such a good worker. And Powerhouse versus Powerhouse thing, four good guys in there together. Good shit's gonna happen. I thought it was a really, really fun match.
Completely. It belonged. That's why it was not a letdown after the amazing Dynamite. It's like it felt like it was part of it
It
for sure.
absolutely was. And I loved it when Hobbs put Orange in the torture rack. That was my favorite part.
Of course it was.
I bet.
Okay, so after this match, we get Shibata versus Kevin Matthews. Was this his debut? Kevin Matthews?
Yeah, I don't remember seeing K Math in there uh,
Oh,
in prior times.
he didn't seem to have a gimmick, but K Math would be great. Put some algebra on his shorts, a little calculus.
Fuck yeah, dude, a beautiful mind, K Math. There, I
Yeah,
just
and
gave him a
then
bit. Just gave
it's
him a
like a
gimmick.
suplex, but they're doing the tangent of the cosine of the line. That's a math joke.
There we
Um,
go. Let's go, Mistress Harley.
Stuff you don't get on other pods.
Oh yeah, you won't get it
Mhm.
on other pods. You may not know, but I did calculus like super early. But ultimately, Shibata won because Shibata is incredible.
Yep.
Oh, dude, Shibata fucking rocks. I
He
remember
is
when he,
fast.
yeah, I remember when he had a match not too long ago, and he had to like suddenly leave because he was having visa issues. I was like, well, I hope we see Shibata again at some point, and here he is. So I'm stoked to see Shibata.
Wow,
Hooray.
when did that happen?
That was like maybe 3 months ago, and
Wow.
because I know he had signed full time with AEW, and they were like I think they even had to cancel a pay-per-view match that had Shibata involved in it because he was having these issues. So he had done a Dynamite, and I think he like flew back to Japan like right after the show.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but he's back, so I'm glad it got
Yay,
worked out.
piece of straighten out.
Hooray, government.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess. It worked
No
out this
comment.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
But that match was a nice solid. It was fast, but it was solid. And then that led right into Takeshita versus Rocky Romero, related to Rocket J Squirrel.
Yep, yep. Rocky Raccoon, also a cousin of his.
But Don Callis, like a dirty baby diaper, he was there. He distracted the ref, and ultimately it led to Takeshita's win. The crowd liked it. This is awesome.
Love that for them.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was solid. I honestly like it was a good, solid, fun match, but like after the amazing Orange Cassidy match, like it was kind of just, it was cool. A nice, solid little match to me.
Yeah, it did feel like a little energy dip, but you
Yeah,
can't
it
keep
did.
it at 10 all the time.
Totally get that. Not hating on it, but
No.
I probably would have switched them around, honestly.
It was a good
Yeah,
time to get a snack, to check your
yeah.
messages.
Kesha especially should never be a snack getting time.
It was really no. The problem? There just felt like it had no stakes at all.
I think
You
you're right.
know, it felt like
Agreed.
Totally.
they
So it was
were,
a
felt
good,
like they
solid
were.
exhibition, but
It
like,
felt like an exhibition match. It did.
yes,
You're right. Without a belt or without some kind of story, it really is an exhibition match. And there's not anything wrong with that, but I think all three of us crave that kind of
story.
storytelling,
Hmm.
cinematic, like dramatic wrestling.
Agreed.
Completely.
And so, speaking of fucking cinematic and dramatic wrestling, the street fight with Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale versus Julia Hart and Sky Blue.
Hmm.
Spoiler alert, my favorite match of the night. Dude,
Wow.
okay, so first, Sky Blue brings out a bag of thumbtacks and empties them into the ring, and then Statlander brought her own bag of thumbtacks. It's like when you are at a restaurant and you both pull out the same hot sauce out of your bag. You're like, girl, we are sisters. And then they smashed each other onto the thumbtacks. There were thumbtacks in mouths and kicks to the face. Oh, it was delightful.
I like
Yeah.
how you said delightful.
Mhm. I listened to Sky Blue on Talk is Jericho, and I know that Sky Blue was definitely like, I want to do some no holds barred shit. I want to do some
Yes.
street fight shit, and
Yes.
you could tell because she seemed very well suited for this kind of fight. So I was especially impressed with Sky Blue in this. I thought she looked very. She didn't look like a fish out of water at all.
It was an
Hell yeah.
incredible match. No, everybody was there for it. Like, it was so satisfying to see the women do a hardcore match.
Agreed. They fucking rocked it.
They really did. And, there was other stuff too. There were flips and kicks and all kinds of stuff, but it was the thumbtacks that just made my day. You guys know I love blood.
Mhm.
Who doesn't?
I do. But
A little
ultimately,
blood.
Julia Hart was the one that won it for her and Sky Blue. But it was the best match, you guys. I'm in love with the match.
Aw.
Yeah. So
So,
we should
you want to
rate
rate
this
it?
one. I want to rate it in thumbtacks in the mouth, and I give it 5.
Wow.
Wow.
Amazing.
I
Yeah,
enjoyed
I
it.
yeah, I liked it. Maybe not that much,
Yeah.
but for a Rampage, I thought it was real good. And if you look in the context of all Rampages, It was super, super solid. I'm gonna give it a 4. Going with a 4.
Why? Why do you detract one thumbtack in the mouth?
I thought the Rocky Romero Shibata match was only okay. And as far as like storyline goes, I thought it was a little lacking. Uh, but it's Rampage. It's kind of like a bonus content to a degree. But for Rampage, I thought it was really good.
For Rampage. Wow,
I know.
Johnny. For a guy over 40, I thought you were really funny.
Jeez.
I get what you mean. Like some rampages are fucking just amazing, but not all of them. And this was an amazing one, but I don't feel as strongly as Harley did.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
once
I
again,
couldn't
I'm
even
agreeing with
five.
Johnny, and I'm giving it 4 thumbtacks to the mouth.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right.
You're welcome. But we need to know what the ghost thought of both of them.
Oh, yeah.
The Ghost actually loves Canada.
Woo!
Yeah, Ghost is a big
Maple
fan
syrup.
of big fan of maple syrup. He loves hockey. So he actually gave Dynamite a 5, and he gave Rampage a 4.5.
Wow, he does love Canada. Speaking of which, I wanted to add something really fast. Osprey, when he came out, said something like, "Last time I was in Canada, I was a naughty boy." And one of the naughty things he did, like I had totally forgotten because I wasn't as familiar with Osprey as I was now, and now I love him. But he came and grabbed a Canadian flag somebody was holding and like wiped his ass with it. That was right next to me. Like he came over, like, yoink.
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, and now that I know him and can process, I'm like, that was fucking amazing. At the time, it's just like that guy's cool. Anyway, the
Is it
ghost
against
wouldn't
the
like that.
law? Is it against the law there to do that with the flag? Like in America, you can do that, but I don't know
I
about the
mean,
Canada.
Yeah,
I feel like that's part of
some places have some real weird rules when it comes to the flag.
I
Tell
feel
you
like
that.
Canada is like, it's cool. You do you.
Well, you
Okay.
shouldn't do that, eh? But it's okay,
Yeah, that's not very nice, eh? Bro.
Oh,
bro.
please do that in the privacy of your house. Um, okay, awards. We got to do awards for
Let's
both
do awards,
episodes.
baby. All right, let's start with the John Holm Biggest Dick of the Week award, and you can pick from either show.
Don Callis, double down.
It's so hard not to
Yeah,
pick John Callis.
yeah. When it comes to being a real dick, anytime Don Callis is even on the screen, he becomes a dick. And Christian, he could always be the dick of the week. But I will say, from a pure annoyance standpoint, and also having the full-on Canadian hate, I got to go with Don Callis too.
I think I have to too. Fuck! I want someone to out-dick Don Callis, but you get it. Good for you.
Do you think that Don Callis is that much of a dick 24/7? Like he's at home in his pajamas and he's still that much of a dick? Or is he like a
I
nice
do.
guy and then like as you turn the camera on him, it like makes him into a dick like Magneto or something?
I would say I feel he has dickish tendencies, at
Ah.
least. The dick's always there.
The dick's always there. Put that on my tombstone.
Noted, Johnny.
Okay. Who is
Dewey
the-
Riley,
Yes,
hero of the week?
the hero. Oh, gotta think about that one.
Yeah, we have to
Yeah,
pick one for both episodes.
taking
Yeah.
heroic acts of
Oh.
heroicness.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going for Jericho because he's putting people over. He sacrificed his neck to
His
prove that
neck.
Hook was worthy, and the internet can shut the fuck up. Also, honorable mention to the crowd because they were fucking amazing.
That was great.
Yeah, and you're a Jericho Mark. You know, we
Shut
know.
up! No, I'm not.
Everyone
just
knows.
appreciate greatness.
I have to go with. Oh, I don't know. I mean, Osprey didn't even wrestle.
Yeah, that was fun.
Swerve Strickland. He's the best. He's the greatest.
Just for existing.
Well, no, and he puts other guys over. Like, he lets the butcher kind of stand there, and he moves him around like a fucking sack of potatoes. Like, he was working really hard.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I'm actually gonna go with Adam Copeland. Big ups to Adam Copeland. He finally slayed the ultimate villain, and
Uh,
he got his belt.
I was almost doing that. He was great. I just didn't know if I could fully call him a hero if he's spiking people to the nuts.
Yeah,
So
you
he was a
know,
little weird.
I think the heroicism for Adam Copeland is coming from just beating up chronically the biggest stick of the past years. So, uh, you know,
And honestly, hopefully, putting it into the storyline, because I do have to say it too. Like, I was really excited for their showdown many times, but by the time this one happened, I was like,
it went on too
"Get-"
long.
yeah. So like the
Yeah,
thrill is gone. Let's get him something else to do.
Yeah,
agree. Fully
it went on too
agree.
long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a good ending though. It just had like 5 endings, you know?
totally.
Yeah, it's that person that's always comes over to your house. They're always talking about their ex. Like, oh my God, get a new ex to talk about.
For
It's
real.
exactly.
Get over it.
Okay,
Yeah.
the Freddy versus Jason match or showdown of the week. Harley, let's start with you since you already told us.
Yeah, it was the women's street fight with thumbtacks to the back, to the neck, to the head, to the face, to the everything. Ladies put their bodies on the line. They bled for my entertainment. It's not just men. I like to watch bleed for my entertainment, ladies.
Blood is blood, baby.
Blood is blood. We
Yeah.
all bleed blood. Um, I, w- I, I'm gonna say, I'm actually gonna go with the main event from Dynamite, the match between Christian and Adam Copeland. Uh, Higher stakes, and it was good shit. You know, I mean, it wasn't a technical masterpiece, but it was good, dumb fun. And but I also did like the Rampage main event as well. I really did.
Good, dumb fun.
Johnny, you and I
We're seeing eye to eye
agree.
this week,
We are
apparently.
so eye to eye this week, man. Totally
Mm.
agree. Completely. And the stakes was a big part of it, you know?
It is.
Because the women's street fight was super fun, super great, but there's a lot behind the Christian Cage Adam Copeland match.
Yeah,
So
closing that
Facts.
chapter in itself.
yeah, and in such a big way.
Yeah.
So yay. Is that the Ric Flair fashion icon of the week? This one I had mapped out already. So I was gonna say Sasha Banks.
Oh,
Mercedes
Mercedes
Moné.
Monet.
Yeah. The artist formerly known as
Yeah,
Sasha Banks.
I know. It's like I had to think for a second. It's all so confusing to my stoner brain.
You know,
I agree, Mercedes Monet. She always has it fucking locked in,
She looks
but
amazing, and I want people to find me her sunglasses.
yes. But honorable mention to Renee Paquette and her sparkly, sparkly jacket.
yeah,
She paired with mom jeans though, which is not.
yeah,
I feel like we could have done something more at the bottom, you know?
I know, but we really don't even really get her from the bottom. She's always like the waist up. So sparkle, sparkle on.
Fair. I guess go for comfort if you're not going to be seen that much.
Yeah, half the
um,
time I'm wearing an animal fleece onesie, and you guys don't even know.
no clue. Yeah, no clue. I agree with Mercedes Monet. And I gotta say, it's weird because she will always be Sasha Banks to me.
I know it's so hard.
It's really hard to remove.
Like Edge, Adam Copeland. Like,
Yeah, I fuck that up every week, and I haven't this week, thank God.
every week.
But Mercedes
Yeah.
Monet looked amazing. She she's it. You know what I mean? Like some people, you could throw her in a fucking Glad bag, and she would still rock it like it was the most expensive fucking couture shit. So, yeah, I would go Mercedes Monet.
I
She has it.
when she was standing there like backstage in her segment, I felt like just her presence
Hmm.
elevated everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It
You know what I
does.
mean? Like it feels more casual, but when she came out, it's like everybody needs to step up their game to be on her level.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I have to say, I'm glad she didn't change her name to like a Banker Sash, which is what
Right.
Oh
fucking
my god, I would
Brian
never do that.
Danielson
Bank,
I
did to
know.
us.
Holy
bank,
shit.
bank of
What were
Sash,
you?
Bank of Sashington. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm glad for
CEO. There we
Yes,
go.
you.
CEO. CEO.
And there we
Well,
go. We
shit,
did
you
it, right?
guys. What are we promoting this week?
Yeah. Yeah.
What you got, Johnny?
Okay, so I will be at the Throckmorton Theater on April 2nd in Mill Valley, California. So rich people, come see me.
Ooh.
And then I will be in Buffalo, New York, April 4th and 5th at Helium. And then I will be at the Norfolk Civic Center in Norfolk, Nebraska, the following weekend, the 12th and the 13th. And then I will be at the Arlington Draft House in Arlington, Virginia on April 27th and 28th.
That
So
is so confusing. You're
yeah,
in Norfolk, but not Virginia, and then you're in Virginia.
I know. It can, trust me, Diana, when I saw the itinerary,
Oh, Brian Danielson of you.
it confused me as well. So also, if anybody out there knows, what's a good airport to fly into that's near Norfolk, Nebraska? Because the closest one I can tell is Sioux City, Iowa, and then I have to take a goddamn bus to get to fucking Norfolk. So
Oh
listen,
no.
if anybody's out there, help a motherfucker out because I ain't trying to fucking fly into Iowa. Thank you.
Wow.
Bring your camo and your duck hunting gear, and I
Oh
don't know,
yeah,
you'll probably blend in with
they're
the
gonna
people.
love my act. Good Lord. See how many
It's gonna be
people,
another Appleton.
yeah, see how many people I walk that weekend.
Oh, Diana, what are you promoting?
Let's see. I will promote that Last Drive-In episode number 2 for the season, our Easter special. Not really special, but our first Easter episode
Ooh,
airs next Friday, and I picked the movie. Sorry.
ooh.
It Yeah. And then my next AEW show is on it's the one not this week, but the next one, like April 3rd. And then right after that, I'm going to Panic Fest where we're hosting Night of the Comet. So
Oh, so
Oh, I
cool.
love Night of the Comet. That's one of my favorite girl movies of all time.
we should come. Kansas
Okay.
City.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
no.
That's okay.
Harley only goes to places that have Four Seasons and other such accommodations.
Does Kansas
But
City not have that?
I'm sure they got something.
I
They got
don't
something.
know what is
They have
in
vegan barbecue.
Kansas.
I love the
I'm
Kansas City
allergic to
barbecue.
the Midwest. But I am featured prominently in the documentary Can't Feel Nothing, which is premiered at the Copenhagen Film Festival this last week and will be touring in Canada, the US, and I imagine eventually on streaming. Go see the fucking movie. Review it on IMDb. Tell everybody how fucking awesome I am. And I don't know, visit my website, mistressharley.com.
Yay.
So, I guess this is the part where we say Namaste W.
Namaste AEW.
Namaste, W.
Raggedy
Yay.
bitches. I have ended it. Have I?
Yay.
Is
You
it?
did it.
Yay, we did it!
I'm gonna stay
We did it.
until
We?
I'm staying in the studio.
Yeah,
Where does
stay.
it say on here?